Hello, this is Untangled by Olivia. I'm going to show you how to read the patterns that I sell on my Etsy page or Etsy site. It's a little bit different. As you can see, there's a number that you don't usually see here on the left side. Usually you just have the bead color and how many of that bead you're supposed to use. I added this extra number on here. This is just the line number. You can see it's all just sequential starting from 1. The reason I put that there is it's a little bit easier to keep track of where you are with a number on the left that's sequential, because let's say you were on number 13 and you had to walk away for 1 second. If somebody moves this, you could lose track of where you are. So all you have to remember when you walk away, if you're taking a break, I was on number 13, and you can just start back up on 13. It also keeps me from accidentally skipping a step. So if I'm counting in my head 13, 14, 16, 17, 15 comes after 14. So there's that. And once in my next video, when I show you how to put the beads on the string, it'll become very useful. And I'll show you how. It's also a little bit of a learning curve. You have to figure out what's the right way to, how to use that extra number there. Up here you have your legend, white bead, black bead, page, if there's more than one page on the pattern. This one, actually, it's a repeat. Most of my patterns, you can repeat the design. So instead of having a really long 20-page War and Peace book of a pattern for 900 beads, I just have one page. And when you get to 79, the last line on this pattern, you just go back up to 1 and start over until you get to the bottom, and then you go back to the top. It also makes it easier to keep track of where you are when you don't have as many. You can take more breaks. Like I said in the previous video, I measure by weight. So in this particular pattern, white, you need 40 grams of white beads and 20 grams of black beads. But there are 2 patterns here. There's this pattern here, which is white with black lines. But this pattern is actually the negative of that, black with white lines. So the number of beads on this one, the black is going to be a lot more than the white, because on this pattern, instead of having a necklace that's all white with black lines, it'll be all black with white lines. So you can interchange. If you decide you want it darker, then you probably want to use this second pattern. If you want lighter, you can use this pattern. And you can change the colors whatever you want. That's just a little bonus, a little convenience feature. You can just read this one, but it'll be very confusing if you switch colors. Like, for example, I'm using black and blue. So instead of white, every time it says white, I'm going to use blue. And I think that's about it. That's all the stuff about my patterns. If you want to learn how to calculate how many beads you're going to use and how to actually use this pattern in practice, see my next video in the playlist.